It's going down this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on the Rising Stars Football Podcast with host Reggie Booby Wins and Prep Stars Football's Derek Denham. And we got some major heat this week. Our guests include Ms. Autumn Selden from Met Agency Sports and Assistant Director of Player Personnel for the University of Alabama, Tony Jones, Roll Tide. We're talking the parents' role in the recruiting game, offers on the table, and the top 2,029 players in Michigan. If you got dreams of D1, the league, or just want to stay in the know, this episode is a must. Don't miss it. Sunday, 6:30 p.m. The Rising Stars Football Podcast. Let's go.
Hey, good evening, Michigan high school football fans. Welcome to the Rising Stars Football Podcast. And as always, I got my main man, Mr. Reggie Booby Wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie.
What up, doe? What up, doe? Merry Christmas.
What's good,
Happy New Year. I'm good. How you doing, brother?
Man, a little under the weather, but the show must go on. We here.
Like my mama say, drink some Vernons, baby.
Some Vernons or Verners?
Burners. Burn-ins. My mama say burn-ins.
Oh, man. Well, look, I got a little Faygo Red Pop and some cough drops. So we're going to be good. Man, Reg, we got a great show, man. I'm excited. Football starts next week in the state of Michigan. Well, actually, it started in Toledo. Well, Toledo played Toledo
CC played Wash right? Jesuit, yeah.
Okay. But state of Michigan football starts next week.
Next Thursday.
So we're going to talk about the matchups, who you got, who I got.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about our guest. First up, we're going to have Miss Autumn Selden. She is the CEO and founder of Met Agency Sports, which she established in 2024. She's a NIL professional, and it's going to be great to have her on the show. I know you know Miss Selden and her sons, and I'll let you talk about her sons a little bit.
And she is a recruiting professional. She's phenomenal recruiting, and we had a great conversation talking about recruiting and parents and things to do and what not to do, and she's phenomenal. Miles Rouser is one of the top prospects in the country in Arizona State safety, phenomenal kid. Andre Sheldon, rest his soul, phenomenal player at New Mexico State as well as Michigan. He was a phenomenal corner. He's with us right now, and that's her son, and she's phenomenal what she do, and she knows a lot, and I'm hoping you guys can get some informed information from her to take on or hire her on to help you out.
And in addition to Miss Selden, we also have my main man, Tony Jones. He's the Assistant Director of Player Personnel for Alabama Football. Roll Ties. So we got Mr. Tony in the house. He attended Grand Blanc. He also started his coaching career with the University of Michigan. And Tony's going to provide his insight on a lot of different topics, especially Roll Tide, Alabama football.
Tony played at Northwestern,
yes.
Top dog wide receiver, man, from Grand Blanc. And Grand Blanc produced a lot of prospects out there. Grand Blanc, I wish he got another receiver currently out now there and a quarterback. I wish they get more involved with the recruiting process because it's a lot of great players in Grand Blanc and Flint area and Saginaw area that does not do anything. So my motto is do nothing, get nothing. You know what I mean? So, and he's not doing, but Tony did it. So he played at Northwestern, graduated, and coaches across the country, and he's a phenomenal person as well as a coach.
And life come full circle, Reg, because just 3.5 years ago, I was taking JD up to Catholic Central for a walkthrough, and with him and coach from UAD, our guy Kevin Glenn. So life comes full circle now, and obviously we went a different path, but here we are. So I'm excited to have Tony on the show as well. But hey, let's get into it, man. You want to start with some of the rankings, or you want to go in with Miss Johnson?
Let's go.
Selden, Miss Selden.
Yeah.
Okay. Autumn, welcome to the show. Can you
Hey,
hear us?
Reg. Hey, how y'all
Hey,
doing?
how y'all doing? How you doing?
Welcome to the
Great.
Rising Stars Football Podcast. We are honored to have you. You're doing some phenomenal things, and we've really been pubbing up this particular episode because we want people to get the information that you can provide. So, if you wouldn't mind, talk a little bit about the Met Agency, which you head up, and how you started with that.
Absolutely. So glad to be here today. And so, how did I get started? I was a parent of D1 athletes, all Americans, traveled all over the world, going to camps, doing things in the football space, learning a lot. My background, though, is in IT. So, obviously, I manage large products, projects, money, things like that in the corporate world for 22 plus years. So what I decided to do is when I knew that NIL was becoming legalized in 2021, I wanted to make sure that our athletes had the representation that they deserve to learn more about the business side of football because it is a business. It's business in recruiting, and when you go on those recruiting visits, you're on an interview, a job interview, an interview for 4 years of your life and possibly more. So that's our goal, to be the quintessential managers and advisors to parents and to athletes and the communities that they reside in as well.
Now, do you serve? What areas do you serve? Is this a national entity? Is it state of Michigan? What? Talk a little bit about that.
So I started a lot of the groundwork while in Michigan and while balancing other full-time positions and careers. That was right back in 2018, 2019. And then from there, it evolved and went beyond the state of Michigan. And that's when I decided to form the actual agency, which was founded in 2024. And I did move, even though it's still What Up, though, and I'm from Michigan. We're national now, and actually headquarters in Georgia,
Love it. Love
very
it.
close to Atlanta.
Reg.
Talk about your program. What are you offering? Right. I want you to tell the people how good you are.
Or
Well,
if you have an athlete and someone is listening now and they
What would
want to get Junior involved,
Yeah.
how would that happen? How should that work?
Okay. Now, when I tell you guys this, don't take your hats off and flip them around and say,
Uh-oh.
"What?" But we
Uh-oh.
start we we start with clients very young, and that's because we don't just service the athletes or the students. We're servicing the families. As the head of the family, your athletes need you for their support, right? And so that's the focus on the parenting. So that's where we come in to kind of act as that liaison to be doing some of the other things. But parents, they got a parent, right? And so, in doing that, our role is vast. We do advising for the athletes, advising for the parents, consultation. We step in and act as liaisons with finding teams, team placement. If there's something going on and someone needs to move out of the transfer portal, we will support in that. We also sit at the table and negotiate NIL representation. That's our one of our core specialties, right?
Mhm.
And in addition to that, we go out and we source deals. They can be national deals, they can be local deals for the communities that the athletes play in. We host events like camps and autograph signings. So we kind of have our hands in everything. And our goal is to be that trusted advisor for families.
Good. Now, your youth, you're educating them early, mentoring them early right now, right?
Absolutely. Mostly via the parents, right?
Mhm.
We start with the parents when they're that young, and then we move on to build strong, lasting relationships with the athletes that go from, say, youth and amateur to right up through high school and then the collegiate ranks. We don't do anything in the pro space, but we do partner with other agencies that do.
Okay. So, do you mentor the college players as well? I mean, NFL players as well as the college players? You kind of mentor them as well?
We mentor the collegiate athletes, and one thing that we do that's really cool, I'm not sure that any other agencies are doing this. We started what we call athlete tap-ins,
Mhm.
and those are our virtual meetings. So that means athletes all over the country are coming together into this one space, and we bring in guest speakers. We bring in current NFL players, former NFL players, financial services advisors, educators. We've brought in academic staff from collegiate universities. We brought in directors of programs, and they, they talk about success beyond the sports.
Okay.
How was it for you? And you have two, your two children that played high profile athletes. Bear with me a little bit with this cold, but they were high profile, and your one now is he's blowing up. Was that part of the reason why you got into this? Knowing where this tide was turning as far as NIL, by you having the athletes and you seeing the exposure that they were getting, or some of the things that they were lacking.
Absolutely. I started my journey as a single mom of one athlete, right, who had lost his dad, and so now he's coming into this space, right, and the only thing he had joy for was football. And so I had to learn the sport. I had to learn it. I had to support him. And I saw a lot of gaps. I saw a lot of gaps, especially for the single moms, not understanding what's happening, what to do, how to do things. And I learned some tough lessons. I made some wrong choices.
Mhm.
And if I can help any other parents to evade those choices and make better decisions and understand the environment and the landscape as it is, then that's the goal. That's the goal. So absolutely, traveling around once, we became, I got with my second husband, and I ended up with the bonus son. I had two athletes, right? We learned a lot. We knew which camps, we found out which camps to go to, which were just money grabs, those that were really developing the athletes. And one of them was Rising Stars, Reggie Wins. Yeah, I tell anybody that, right? You want your athlete to get some real work, get coached up, know what it's going to be like at the collegiate level. That's very, very important. I think you guys were talking earlier about the Flint area up there, and some of the talent in Grand Blanc. Well, then there's Joe Trample, right? He's another great guy from Michigan that they can get with, that does a lot in that area, up in that space. So
Wow. What you're doing is phenomenal, and the fact that what you went through, what you went through with one of your sons, and that was such a tragic event, and to bounce back, and now with Miles, it's phenomenal. So, Reg.
I, I know it's good. I know what you do and how you do. We have long conversation about these things, but I want you to inform parents how important they are to their child recruiting, the do's and the don'ts of a parent.
absolutely. So I think I touched on this earlier, but I'm gonna elaborate.
Mhm.
So for example, with the recruiting piece,
Mhm.
you have to have patience, right? There's thousands of athletes in the high school space, and then there's some universities. Not everyone is going to be recruited, so you have to understand that it's competitive. If you do procure someone for services to help with the recruiting, listen. If you're going to pay them, or if you're going to trust them to give you the best advice, you have to take that advice.
Right.
Okay,
Oh
you
yeah.
have to listen to to what they're saying. Otherwise, you're just paying me, or you're just paying Reg, or you're just paying someone to talk to you. But you have to absorb that information, because they are the experts in this space. We are the experts in the space. We've been through it time and time again. Reg has countless players in the NFL. They had to go through recruiting to get there, right? So if you're going to have a trusted advisor, you want to listen. As I mentioned before, those visits. I hate to bring this up, but it's relevant, and I know parents, in the audience can relate to what we just saw. The Johnson family fight out there in Ireland, right? So everything that you do, from the visit to going to games, all of that is going to be under public scrutiny. Okay, the athletes they might as well be celebrities. They have their own name, image, and likeness. They have their own brands. They are by right businesses. So when you think about going on these recruiting visits, when you think about sitting even in the stands and berating the coach, or talking out of turn, or having public disputes and things like that, Think about the fact that that's your business on display. Your athlete is it has a brand, and you can damage that. You can make it so that we've already got thousands of athletes to choose from. So then you give them a reason not to choose your athlete. So parents can either help or they can hurt. Now, I just talked about some of the ways that they can hurt, but here's the ways that you help.
Okay.
Be a parent. They need to know that they can love and trust you.
Mhm.
You want to know what to do? Be a parent. Make sure the grades are good. He or she can have all the talent in the world, but if they can't get into school and they can't get past academic eligibility and they can't get past admissions, they're going nowhere. Okay? It's a stepping stone. It's a ladder. You first have to start with the educational piece and make sure that they are fulfilling that. If they need tutors, if they need support, and you're paying for that, make sure they're getting their work done. Nothing should become before the sport. Make sure they love God. Make sure they love you. Make sure they listen and trust you, because they're going to need you for this entire process, whether they get recruited or they don't. Even when they get to the university, there's going to be adversity. They may come home for the first time ever. They've been the biggest fish in the pond, and they've had, every coach giving it everything, handing over everything to them. And they call and say, Mom, Dad, I'm on third or fourth string. I'm running with the threes and fours. That's okay. That's okay. You got to show them why you're a one or a two. You got to work through that adversity. You're struggling in classes. Find out how you can get with a tutor. Find out how you can get help. And I don't want to just boast up Met, but we offer that as well because we know how important it is. It's actually in our contract. Okay. If you sign with us and you want to procure services and you're in the collegiate ranks and you don't meet eligibility requirements and you can't play, you owe us $1,000.
Well,
And if it happens more than once, we will not render services to you because you can't get anywhere without the educational piece. This is not the NBA. This is not basketball. It's football. Right? And then there's other sports that have those same level of rigor and requirements for collegiate athletes to be able to first be students, right? And do what they need to do in the classroom. And then that sport then comes thereafter.
Talk a little bit about the relationships we're going to have Mr. Tony Jones from Alabama coming on
Yes.
after you. Talk a little bit about the relationships that you have with those coaches, because not too long ago, when you talk about agencies and things of that nature, that's like, ooh, that's kind of, they frown upon those types of things. Talk a little bit about that aspect of those relationships that you have.
Absolutely. Now, this is going to touch right on what I was just talking about, so you'll know that I'm telling the truth. You want to have good impressions, and you want to make sure that you're carrying yourself well, because again, I was a parent first.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've come into a professional space where I'm dealing with some of the same individuals, right?
Mhm.
So how you carry yourself one way will translate to another, and you never know where those opportunities will come from.
Yes.
One thing that I highly prioritize, okay, I highly prioritize this, and that is relationships and networking, right? Good people, you want to recognize that. You want to keep those relationships sound and intact. It's no different than for the athletes. Someone once shared this with me, and I want to share it with everybody, today.
Sure.
I think it was one of the mentors that I had in the corporate space.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me, what's the chances of me hiring my friend and then firing them? When you're close to people, you look at them different. Those relationships matter. There may be 10 people with the same skill set, but if we're friends or if we have familiarity and I respect your character and I respect how you carry yourself, you're more likely to get there. So you never know what door you're going to open and who's on the other side of that and what that opportunity can then turn into.
Wow. That's good stuff.
I mean, that's why you can't recommend everybody. You got to make sure they for your brand and for their own brand.
Correct.
So I mean,
absolutely, and even in the even in the transfer portal space, when I go out and if my guys are in the portal, you want to watch how you handle that relationship from the school you're leaving to the school you're going to. You don't want to be making problems in the space. This is a very small atmosphere. It may feel large, but it's not. The person that you shun today that may be at, say, a G5 school will be right there at the SEC the next time you pop up.
Absolutely.
And now what?
Absolutely.
So do you advise kids to get in the portal, or do you wait till they're in the portal and then you kind of take it from there? Walk us a little bit through that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I did a podcast on this the other week. So,
Mm.
and I think I scared some people because the truth of the matter is this. No, I want to be serious about this because it's twofold,
Sure.
right? So there are individuals that may go into the portal chasing the bag, chasing money.
Mhm,
Never want to encourage that. I've never sent an athlete to the portal for those reasons.
mhm,
However, there are instances where the entire coaching staff has been let go or left by choice.
mm,
Now what? Now you're in a whole nother quandary, right? Now you have a problem. Now that's different.
mhm,
You may go to the new coaches. I've had clients go to the new coaches and say, I really want to be here. This is why I chose this university. When I got this scholarship out of high school, you were only one of the only schools recruiting me. Can I please stay here? Whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to prove myself. Uh, you know, Basically begging. And the coach has looked at them. This is the head coach and said, "There's nothing here for you. Goodbye.
wow.
Your paperwork has
Business.
already been submitted with compliance."
It's a business.
It's a
248.
business now.
I'm
And
sorry.
I wouldn't
Go ahead.
dare leave those athletes hanging. So if they're there and we've gotten a lot of clients from the portal, I'm absolutely going to help them.
248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. We have Miss Autumn Selden she's the CEO and founder of the Met Agency Sports. If you got any questions, time now is to call, and she's going to spit that knowledge to you. So open those phone lines for us, and hopefully we got some calls. Go ahead, Reg.
I'm just adding because transfer portal it just makes me sick, because to give our kids the way out to not work for what they want, and that's not all of them. That's some of them. I got a call just a few days ago and said that I want to transfer. He telling me I'm not traveling, I'm not going to play because I'm not doing this or that, and he said I want to transfer. My first question is can your father or mother handle a walk-on spot?
Mm.
Because you're not playing at this university. What are you going to do in the next university? I can't call Tony Jones, Alabama, and say I got a walk-on or I got a transfer that didn't play in this last team and he's been there for 2 or 3 years. No, it don't make sense. We have to continue teaching our kids to work for what they want. It's not an easy way. You got to continue taking the stairs, not the elevator. So only way you're going to get paid, you got to work. And the only way you do that is shit. You just got to fight for what Coach said. Work on your blocking, work on your catching. Do that. But stop asking for an easy way out. Well, shit, let's go to Division III and play. If you that good.
Reg, not to cut you off, we do have a caller. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, this Mike. I got a question for Autumn.
Sure.
Miss Selden. How old are you? I know you say you do like advising the parents. I do have a kid going to the 6th grade, and it's kind of smaller. So, what do you think about like the reclassification, reclassifying the kids?
Great question. Autumn, the floor is yours.
So you say he's a smaller player?
Yes,
6th grader. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
middle school.
Yep. So are you looking at that from the perspective of just for athletics, or is there anything else going on where it would warrant him to have a little bit more time under your wing and and at home with the reclassification?
Yeah, basically, yeah. The skill set is there. It's coming along good and everything. It's just the size. I'm kind of don't know exactly how how he's going. Basically, yeah, about the size, basically.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think sixth grade is a bit premature to be deciding anything, and I never would advise, a client to do it just for the purposes of athletics. It is done more frequently in certain regions, and we know that. Okay, but I think that there has to be more there than just for athletic advantage, because that's not always guaranteed. That may not even come to fruition. Skill sets can be developed over time. I say wait till the 8th grade and see how he's doing. If there's issues with maturity or
Mhm.
anything else that
Mhm.
warrants it, then it's something that to be considered. But I would definitely not be making that decision right now in the 6th grade.
Mike, thanks for your call.
All right, thank you.
And when he said 6th grade, and it just threw me right
Well-
after.
Well, they're doing that right now, but like Autumn said, it's just a maturity piece.
Yeah.
99% of the time, you're too small, or you're not mature enough.
6th grade.
8th grade. Now, if he's a dude,
Right.
okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Go in 8th grade and figure out what you got to do.
And that's generally the time where people start thinking about that.
Well, no, they be doing it 6th and 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Just
Okay.
because they don't want to start late, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? I don't want to put my baby, get him in the 8th grade, and I can get him in the 4th grade, and he ain't got to be embarrassed by his friends. You know what I mean? But he had a good question. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. I mean, they doing it in the 6th grade. I understand.
Wow.
But if it's academic reasons, it's
Yeah.
maturity reason, and he just a little bitty dude, you're trying to get him stronger, they doing it. So
And they doing it twice and 3 times. I mean, kids are reclassing twice. Hey, I know kids at St. Mary's, well, schools period. I'll just say school periods. They got their driver's license in 9th grade. So, because they're 16.
but how can we identify if this child is committed to his craft?
Exactly.
Are you wasting your time?
Yeah.
Is he a 4.0 student? I just talked to one of my white friend's son, and he's a 4.0, hell of a baseball player. And people are talking about reclassing.
Yeah.
Well, why?
Yeah.
He's a 4.0, and he's very mature.
Yeah.
And baseball is different because, hell, they draft you out of high school at 17.
True.
Now, I get it, getting mature, trying to get stronger, be the best in that class because you're a year older. I understand that.
Right.
But everybody don't need to do that.
Yeah. But it, like Autumn was saying, in other regions of the country, especially in the South, they're it's like if you don't do it, you might get left behind. You know what I mean? So, and Autumn, talk a little bit about that. I mean, how prevalent is that for people to say, hey, their kid he may already have the build, he may have the intelligence, and they still want to reclass him because they know that he's going to be playing against, older kids. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I see it happening. We certainly have clients that we have advised to take that route. But again, and I get Reggie's point about, the embarrassment factor. But hey, you can put them at a different school. There's different ways that you can handle that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I feel like it's a bit premature to do it in 6th grade. Now, 7th or 8th, I think, you give them a little bit more time to see what's going to happen maturity wise, to see what's going to happen growth wise and things like that. I will say this, it all level sets out, right? I'm not saying that, parents should not consider it, but what I can say, and I was advised by this, right? Before I got into the profession, it was like, watch, once they get to a certain age, it won't matter that he's 22 and he's 19. If he can ball, he can ball, So there's a lot of different mindsets where that come. I know mine were from the North. Neither one of them did reclass, and they went and competed against, some guys from the South and things like that at camps, and they were dominant,
Hey,
even
look.
in college.
Yeah,
So
because Selden, when he played at Michigan, he was not considered a big corner, if I remember correctly. He was dominant.
Deion Sanders said that was the best corner he's seen since he's been
Yes.
coaching. Wow. He went to the All-American game and he lit it up.
Lit it up.
But, they discriminate you because of your size. Because I've been to one of his schools. I went to the practice. And I thought he should have been playing based on what he was doing there.
Sure.
So I know they discriminated on his size.
Yeah.
But he's fighting his whole damn life, man. I watched this kid pitch off a hitch ball, man, and took it to the house, man. Hitch.
Phenomenal.
And he was in 7 yards off the ball.
Phenomenal.
So I mean, I do wish they stopped taking his size and shit. And
But that's the point. They could have decided, her and Mr. Selden could have decided to say, hey, you know what? He's may be considered to be too small and not the right size, and reclassed him. And I don't think he reclassed, but hey, he went in and did his thing. So it's not always about the size of bodies, the size of that heart. You know what I mean?
And speaking of size and big heart and good player, you went down this weekend to see AJ Marks, and he lit that shit up.
I sure did.
He lit that shit up. So
He did.
And he texted me, and I texted him, I DM him. So I'm like, shit. I say, boy, great job. He always the cream rise to the top,
No doubt.
and they just look at it because his statue. But shit, there's a lot of guys in the NFL of that size and playing well and in the Hall of Fame.
True.
And he showed that the first game of the season. And what I enjoyed by AJ Marks, he just shut up and play. He went down. We played down in 707 down in Atlanta. Man, he was all over the best player.
Yeah. He has a chip on his shoulder.
He
plays
does.
with a chip on
He
his
does,
shoulder.
but he plays hard.
Yeah,
And that's why he's going to be a winner. And he's
Yeah.
consistent. He works hard.
Sure.
And he's just a great ass kid. And I can't say nothing negative about that baby. He's a phenomenal dude.
And you guys surprised him. You didn't let him know you were coming. So I know he said something about that on social media. I did read that. So he was happy to see you there with your IMG jersey.
Yes.
Right?
So how did he do now?
Yep. My husband did pull out he pulled out the IMG gear. He's a phenomenal player, and he came out there and showed that. I was so proud, especially being from my home state, right? And he just a straight up baller. And like I said, they look at biometrics and the size, but at the end of the day, can you ball or not? He came out there, did his thing. It was like he was everywhere though. That PBU, when he just ran up there on the quarterback like that, not a lot of DBs gonna be getting up there in the mix with them old line like that. But he did his thing. So
I mean, I got to give shout out to Pops, man, because we talking about recruiting and getting involved and structuring shit for his son. He done that all career. He made decision that people didn't like. He transferred from St. Mary's and go to IMG, and he stayed there when his compadre left and came back home. He could have followed the suit, but his daddy like, no, you're gonna finish this shit up,
right?
And going to Wake Forest. Shout out to his family, man, and keep balling, AJ, baby.
I want to get into the money, Ms. Selden. I want to get into the money. Let's call it what it is. People, all the other stuff. People want to know about the money. Let's be honest. So just say, for example, if you got a 5-star kid, right? And he comes to you for whatever reason, for some NIL, deals or what kind of money? Is it just about him being a 5-star? Is it about him being a popular kid that has a lot of social media followers? What's the criteria that can get this young man a lot of money or a lot of deals? Talk a little bit about that.
So that's the beauty of it with NIL. There's several different streams of income.
Sure.
Okay. You can get the money from the popularity, and you don't have to have any stars for that. You're just a popular kid with 2 million followers, or 200,000 or 300,000 followers, and companies will give you the deal just because you have the followers. Then there's the stream of money that comes from the actual entities, the university money, right? And that's from the collective. And then now there's revenue sharing. So there's that. Then there's the deals. So there's a pot of money, and obviously, if you've got the stars and you're popular and you have a good relationship with the school, and there's opportunities there, it can be generational wealth. I remember posting that and someone saying, "Get out of here. You're talking like this is real money." Well, it is, because when I was 17, 18, 19, I wasn't making $300,000 or $400,000 a year.
I wasn't either.
And if I had the knowledge that I have now as a financial services advisor, if you invest that properly, or if you even save 10% of that at the end of the year, over 10 years, you could have a nice amount of money, whether you continue to play football after college or not. There is opportunities there. You know how you see those promo ads, and they're saying $10,000 for a Smoothie King. Well, you certainly could buy 1 or 2 of those.
Right.
Definitely. Wow.
Right.
Wow, amazing. Rich, you got anything else?
You have the money to buy you have the money to buy life insurance. You have the money to buy into things that can yield you money. So that's our role, is to help the families identify ways to turn these revenue streams into opportunities for generational wealth, and to be able to take care of them for the life beyond the sport.
That is correct.
Is it just athletes that you work with, or is it like these influencers? You know, you see the guy Speed, and he's making millions of dollars now. You know, do you represent people like that as well?
We do, and we actually have the ones that we have right now are currently former athletes,
Mhm.
but we've found that there's a lot of different types of athletes out here, and a lot of different content creators that have really good access to influencing and for entrepreneur endeavors that we can help.
Well, look, I'm definitely gonna be talking to you offline. So I know somebody. So we really appreciate. Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, we got to get Tony on, but I want you to give me your Twitter and tell them how you can contact you.
Please.
And because I need them guys to contact you and get in contact.
Website, whatever you got, Autumn,
Right.
you want to share. How can someone?
Okay, so on on X, we are Met National, and on Instagram, which is our most popular, we are Met_agency.
Perfect.
And
Well,
our website is getmet.org.
Okay. And then obviously Reg has your information too. We definitely
Absolutely.
gonna spread the word, because there's a lot of people that could utilize your services.
Hey sis.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Thanks for having me on, guys, and I'd love to come back.
Hey
man.
sis, great
Anytime.
job. I didn't hear them dogs barking back there neither. So
Hey, we appreciate you, Autumn. Hey, take care now. We definitely gonna be talking to you soon, okay? All right.
All right,
Bye-bye.
sis.
Oh man, that's
Good job.
phenomenal.
That's a good job.
Phenomenal. I mean, I learned a lot from Miss Selden, man. And like I said, she had two tremendous athletes that she's, had to play a part in their success, and to see that she's giving back now is that's priceless.
No, she's a bomb, boy.
Yeah.
she know what she's talking about.
So let's do this. Let's bring in Ali so he can be part of this. And then we're gonna bring in Tony as well. Ali, what's up, my man?
What's going on?
Hey.
Glad to be here.
Hey, Big Al from Michigan Exposure. Big Al does his thing, man. We missed you the last week, so we're glad to have you back. We're going to be talking about recruiting. We're going to be talking about this week's contest, so we definitely want you to be part of that.
Hey, damn, you've been going for a week. You got an afro. What's
I know,
up?
man. What's happening? What's going on? But no, it's good to have you back, bro.
So I want you to start out while Tony's on here and talk about the Toledo CC game as well as Walsh Jesuit game, and have the top prospects there, because it was very, very interesting game.
Before you do that, Ali, let me
bring
introduce Tony. So, again, Mr. Tony Jones, University of Alabama. Man, you doing your thing down there, man. We glad to have you. Assistant Director of Player Personnel. Welcome to the show, Tony.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Oh, man, it's pleasure is all ours, man. And we got a guy, Big Al, so we want Al to be part of this conversation as well.
Y'all said Al grew a afro where he went. I'm trying to figure out where he went.
Hey, Tony, you see I keep my hat on. I'm right there with you, baby. So, hey, Tony, talk a little bit about, man, how you got started. You went to Grand Blanc. You were a standout athlete there. You also were at University of Michigan as a coach. You were at Catholic Central there, working in their staff. And then now you're at the University of Alabama. Talk about your journey, man.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan, just an hour north of Detroit. As you mentioned, I was a 3-sport athlete, at Grand Blanc High School. I was fortunate to, go through the recruitment process and build a ton of relationships. Ended up narrowing down my decision to, essentially it was Michigan State, Stanford, Vanderbilt, Northwestern. Felt that Northwestern was the best, all-around fit for me. To grow as a young man, had the opportunity to compete as a true freshman while maintaining, academic standards. So I thought that was the best fit for me to go there and continue my, my athletic and academic career. I was fortunate to sign with the Washington Redskins after my playing career. So I was an undrafted free agent with the Redskins. I was there for essentially through training camp. Ended up getting injured. Was released, and I came back to Flint to do my rehab. And during that time, I did a quick internship with Merrill Lynch. So
Mm.
I did the financial advising thing for a short period of time before truly realizing, that ultimately working in sports and working with the youth was truly my passion. So I ended up reconnecting with Jim Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh, who had recruited me at Stanford when he was the head coach there, and he ended up hiring me at the University of Michigan for my first gig. So it's just crazy, listening to the conversation that you had, with Miss Autumn, about the importances of relationships
Mhm.
all throughout this process. Because I was a high school kid that had different opportunities and had the opportunity to connect with Jim Harbaugh, in 2009. And when it came time for me to get into college athletics, I was able to use that prior relationship to earn me my first job in college football. So I worked with him from 2017 until 2021. When I was leaving, Courtney Morgan, who's our general manager here at the University of Alabama, he had just got hired as our director of player personnel. So I worked with him for a couple months, and again, relationships. So when I left Michigan, I went to Detroit Catholic Central. Just was a different time in my life. Wanted to get my family, my wife off to a solid foundation. I have a little bit more work-life balance.
Mhm.
And Catholic Central was a great opportunity for me. And when Courtney got the job here at Alabama, he asked, was I ready to get back into college football? And I don't know too many people that's turning down, an opportunity to be a part of the Crimson Tide. So yeah, I'm where I am, just because of hard work, obviously favor, from the Lord,
Mm.
great guidance, along the way, and just working hard. So that's been my journey, here to the University of Alabama.
Wow, man. Because what really stands out to me is, like you said, it's almost things come full circle.
Absolutely.
And I was just telling Reg on the offline when we first started how when I came up and we did the walkthrough 3.5 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And to see where you at now, man, is it's just phenomenal. And that's why it's important. You can't burn bridges. Keep those
Absolutely.
relationships strong because you never know when somebody's gonna come back around.
Hey,
Absolutely right.
hey, Tone. That's why I don't refer guys that can't play at Alabama. I mean, because the fact is, I need to call you on the next prospect on Alabama.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
send you a guy because his daddy like me and he want go get me an offer from Alabama. No, you don't even come to workouts.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just not your skill set, man. It's your mindset. So if your mindset and tell I'm not calling nobody like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's as important, man. Relationships.
I'm gonna bring Allie into the conversation. Allie, you got anything for Tony?
Man, honestly, it's just he has a crazy journey, and like he said, just it's about relationships at the end of the day, and it's great to see how his career has been going. Being at probably the most, the biggest brand in college football, Alabama, and
Mhm.
being from Michigan, is dope to see.
That's huge.
It is huge. Do you get any Tony being down there in Alabama now and knowing that Michigan, you guys just, you know, do you get any flack from us up north now? Or you know, people back home?
No, not at all. I think everyone, has been, very supportive. Um, it was crazy that, of course, my first year here, we end up playing against, Michigan in the bowl game. So that was, you
Yeah.
talked about full circle moments. It was crazy. Obviously, I worked with Coach Moore, Sharon,
Mhm.
when I was at Michigan. I mean, my best friends, are still on staff there, and I recruited a lot of those kids. It's
Mhm.
funny. I remember recruiting, Dre and Miles when I was at Michigan. So,
Right.
It's been nothing but love. Obviously, great, historic program, and I'm always rooting for those guys. And no, it's been nothing but support. So it's been great, to even find guys, in that Metro Detroit area, that now I can recruit. That I remember watching them, when they were, in middle school or even, getting ready to go to high school. So it's been great. It's been a blessing.
Wow. Tony, you know I got to ask this question.
What you got?
I just got to ask, how can the kids from Michigan get recruited by Alabama?
Be 5
Yeah.
stars. No, I'm
Well,
just
no,
kidding. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. Go
No,
ahead,
no,
Tony.
okay.
I mean, the stars don't even matter.
kidding.
It's what you put on film. You got to be a
Sure.
baller. You got to, if you want to be recruited at this level, you've got to be the best at what you do. Like at the end of the day, my job is to go find the best players in the world. And that's not even limited to America.
Right.
We are building a championship football team, and we want the best. So I don't care if you from Alaska, from Europe, from Michigan. I mean, if you balling out in Detroit, I'm gonna know about you. Somebody's gonna call me, and I'm gonna watch your film.
Sure.
When you from the crib, I want to like you. I want to be able to bring some kids down here because like anything else, you proudly represent where you're from. So there's always debates as far as, okay, well, who's got the best high school football, who's got the most talent, and it feels good when you've got a baller from your hometown or your home state that you feel strong about and can come down here and compete. So that's the biggest thing. You got to be a winner. You got to be a competitor. So, if it's a kid that, truly wants to, play at this level, you got to come down here, and show it. Come down here, come to camp, run, go through the drills, and be a competitor. So you want to come down, to Alabama, you want to compete at this level, prove it.
I told a story that began before we got on the show today. Without Stan Edwards and I bringing Berkeley down there. And it was so funny, Tony. At the time, Nick was there, and we're on the sideline. And Stan and I both at the same time said, "Hey, man, it's different down here. They do things differently." Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different level of intensity. I mean, down here in SEC territory, they love football down here. Like they breathe, sleep, eat football. Like football is everything. So it's it's just extremely competitive. It's intense. And you're gonna see some of the best athletes in the world down here. But we were just talking about kids being recruited from that area. Shoot, one of my big brothers, Mark Ingram, he came from Michigan and obviously, had a heck of a career, here at Alabama, became, the first Heisman Trophy winner,
Right.
In the school's history, and the rest, speaks for itself. So, I mean, just high level football, great young men, great players, that they seem to, be attracted to the University of Alabama.
Wow.
Now, this 105 roster, how does it affect my high school kids coming in?
Yeah, I think that the game is just becoming a lot more competitive. Now we're limited to just 105 roster spots, whereas before, typically you had, 85 scholarship players and essentially unlimited walk-ons. I can remember when I was at Michigan.
Oh yeah,
and we had so many players. We had of course, you had the 85 scholarship players, but man, we probably had anywhere from 40 to 50 walk-ons. Just because Coach Harbaugh loved having all of the different practice bodies. But now it's a strict limit. At 105. So now you're going to see more scholarship players, if the university decides that, that they can, financially make it work. But those walk-on spots are now going to be, a lot more competitive than they have been, in the past.
I remember when Harbaugh was coaching, you had a lot of walk-on. You used to have those bowl bandit games with all the walk-ons and take the best and travel them.
Yeah.
Because remember Leon Franklin, that's how he got good grades on the team. He did, and coach like, man, he been balling.
Yeah.
If he didn't have that unlimited roster spots for them kids, he couldn't find them.
Right.
Leon, he graduated with his master's from Michigan.
Yeah. And Leon played. I mean, you see all the time, walk-on kids that, went on and became, whether all conference players or, guys that have even, made their name, in the NFL. So, I mean, those scholarship opportunities are vitally important as well.
But Tony, because I don't understand, why would someone take away from your team bringing on players? So now, but we're going to give you a $20 million additional revenue sharing money and still going to pay them doggone walk-ons. I mean, why you just can't control your own narrative with that $20 million?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like NFL practice squad or not.
Right. Yeah, that's likely what it'll turn into.
Yeah, it's just frustrating as hell, man, because a lot of kids losing out because now the transfer.
That's the NCAA, right? That's the NCAA that did that. Yeah, well, that's a whole
105.
Right.
I mean, it's just me personally. I mean, I remember, I'm telling you, and when we was in college in about 1986, when I was in college, our coach did the same thing. And we had the guys that did not play, Tony, we scheduled a game for those guys. So Grand Rapids College came down, we may play a Division III just so them guys can get some work or film.
Right.
And the most important part to me is developing your team.
Right.
Now, when the transfer portal come, you're gonna think about, well, shit, I may have to keep Ali. He just ran a 4.28. You know what I mean? And you never knew because of the fact he never had a damn chance.
Right.
So I'm hoping they change it, man. Give your kids another opportunity because you can take some walk on because some families can't afford. They can afford that walk on.
Some people can't.
They can't.
Probably a lot of your best athletes can't.
Tony go to another school. Shit. Okay.
Tony, talk a little bit about, you heard the conversation we had with Miss Selden from the Met Agency Sports and some of the things that she was talking about. With over the years, definitely the NIL obviously is becoming more prevalent. It's still new to a degree. How does that affect you as in your position at Alabama when you have someone from the agency side now? You talking about for college guys, and it's even in high school now. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, in my role specifically, I'm more so just focused on, the talent and the fit. If this kid can play at this level and if he'll be good, for our locker room, for our university, et cetera. Our general manager, he handles, the conversations as far as the finances, but it is something that, you have to consider now, because kids aren't just coming here, for a scholarship anymore. There is a business component that's involved, and typically during, the evaluation process, you're trying to vet, the kid and the family, and you want to also get a feel for, number one, does this kid truly love football? Or is it, everything else that comes with it? Is it the money? Is it the, the fame, or what I guess now they call it the clout?
Sure.
Is it all for social media? Like, is it the jewelry, the girls, the cars, or is this kid, all about football? So that's part of our, evaluation process, trying to figure out, who is this kid? What's important to him? What's important to the family? What type of influences, does he have around him? So it all, works together, when you're trying to figure out, is this a kid that, number one, we want to recruit? And secondly, is this a kid that, that our staff and our GM and our collective, that they're going to, want to invest in? Because, of course, you've always by offering a kid a scholarship, you're investing in him and in his future. But now, that investment has got a dollar tag attached to it as well. So you want to know, if this kid, gets a six-figure deal, how is that going to influence him as a player, as a person as well?
You guys were recruiting a young man up here, Sadler, CJ Sadler.
Recruiting quite a few.
Yeah, well, I'm just specifically because he's considered one of the top guys in 2026 class. When you have someone like that, Tony, from the state of Michigan, and again, from the state of Michigan, and he's an outstanding player. When he doesn't commit to Alabama, and I don't know how, I know relationships change. You may offer him early, and then you may fall off a little bit, but when you talk about Alabama, man, that's a hard school to pass up. If you got an opportunity to go there, most people are going to jump on that, man. How does it, when you guys don't get a player, how does that affect you in a certain way, or talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So
dynamic.
I guess disclaimer, I'm not able to speak on, any players specifically.
Sure.
But you in general, you build, strong relationships, with these kids. And at the end of the day, my perspective, my approach is I want the kid to be successful no matter where he goes.
Mhm.
Especially, when it's a kid from
From
my
hometown.
state that, that I know, I just want to see them successful. So, and I recognize that every kid isn't a fit for Alabama, and Alabama's not a fit for every kid.
Mm.
So you just have to also, just kind of keep in perspective that, there's other great, schools. Obviously, I think Alabama is the premier, number
Mhm.
one
Mhm.
option for any student athlete. But I recognize that, there's better fits, for certain kids. And, I wish them well, especially, with the transfer portal. You always want to maintain, that relationship
Good
because
point.
you just never know,
point.
if a kid ends up, unhappy, at the school that they decide to go to. And, later on, they're looking to make a move and,
Mhm.
you have an opportunity to bring them into your program. So again, it just revolves around, number one, putting, the kid and his future, first and maintaining good relationships, treating people with respect, and really just treating them how you would want, someone to treat, yourself or your son if they were going through, this process.
I want to open up the phone lines 248-905-1128. 248-905-1128. Hey, if you got any questions, again, the time is now to call. We got Mr. Tony Jones from the University of Alabama, assistant player personnel. So give Tony a shout, and he would love to offer some advice for you.
Tony, man, how important are these parents to the recruiting process? Because parents, Lord Jesus, I've been hearing some new stories every week, man, and it just make my stomach itch, man. And just tell them what their roles are and how important it is them to be with them babies recruiting.
Well, and can
Yeah.
I expound on that, Tony, before you? I just
Sure.
want to expound on that question with Reg, because Reg said something earlier about, and this is something that he and I always talk about, how big of an influence can negatively our
Recruiting,
parents
yeah.
with adversely of their kids recruiting. Talk a little bit about that too, along with Reg said to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, parents. I mean, you can make or break a kid's recruitment. It starts with your relationships with the high school coaches, the counselors, and number one, obviously your kid and your son. You ask, what's their role? Your role, obviously, number one is to be, the parent, your child's number one supporter, and that's supporting him not as a football player, but as a young man. And I think you see a lot of times, parents that may even want it, more for the kid than the kid wants for himself.
Mhm.
So
Oh God, yes.
I think number one, your number one priority is to continue to be a mentor, to be a parent, number one, and just making sure that you're doing everything that you can to support your son's, goals and dreams. And what comes with that is also conducting yourself in a manner that, that recruiters, coaches, that they want to interact with you. I feel like I'm blessed and fortunate to have had, great parents that I think even with the Coach Harbaugh situation, Coach Harbaugh, I think he took a liking, to my parents when we went out and came on the visit. And I think ultimately that affected him hiring me later. So, when you evaluate a player, we also evaluate the person as well. And what comes with the person is also, his background. So, when I present a kid, I have to give a story on who this kid is. Where's he from? What's his home life like? Who's he live with? They want to know what type of character this kid has. They can see the film.
Sure.
So, I mean, the film is going to speak for itself, but they want to know, the intangibles. And a big part of that is, who's raised this young man, who's been in his ear, who's been supporting him and who's helped him get to this point. Because when things get hard, this is who this player, who he's going to call. And if you feel like, this is a negative parent, this whole recruitment process, they've been bad mouthing the high school coaches, and the trainers and everybody else, then why would we expect for it to be any different, when he got to the university? So, yeah, I mean, parents are extremely important, in this whole process.
Have there been times where, and not just at Alabama, but maybe even at Michigan, where you may have had a player and he didn't even have, the parent support, or, it could be a single mom, single dad, however you want to term it, or maybe he's being raised by someone else in the family. You know what I mean? Maybe he doesn't have that parental support. Have you ever had those situations?
It's happened. It's definitely happened. When you're recruiting kids, from all over the country, you're going to get all sorts of different backgrounds and stories. So our job is to just try to find out, as much information, about the kid as possible. And from there, make a decision.
Sure. I think we got a call for you, Tony. I'm waiting on Sante. Let me know. Okay. So welcome to the show, caller. Who we got? Please say your first, last name.
Hey, this is Andre Sheldon. What's going on, fellas?
What up?
What's up, Big Dre?
Go ahead, Mr. Sheldon.
Chilling, man. I just wanted to chime in.
Please do.
I just wanted to talk about recruiting, man. And I just want to give some important advice. One thing that I took, with myself. One thing I did was recruited to school just as much as they recruited my kids, So that's one important thing you want to know about that school. As much you want to reach out, just as much as they reach out to y'all. I was reaching out to colleges left and right, So if you want a school, you think your kid good enough, reach out. Got the film, send that film. Like you say, the relationships. Tony, I deal with him a lot at Michigan, so you never know where he may end up. Like we deal with recruiting with kids now. I might need Tony. I might have an athlete I think good enough to go to. Well, we at Bama, so you never know, man. So that's one thing, man. Recruit to school. That's important. Just recruit to school.
Hey, Andre, glad you called in. I got a question for you. So as a parent, man, that went through the process, obviously, your son was a great player, man. How important is it for the parent? Because, at certain schools, you got recruiters. They're handling the recruitment. How important is for the parent to take control of that recruiting experience?
Well, I took mostly all control. I ain't gonna lie. But
right.
you have to, man, because you're dealing with teenagers. They don't know, So.
Well, when I say to be clear, I'm talking about from the school, like say the high school, like Belleville. So you got whoever the coach is there. I'm saying how important, or is it important for that parent to let Belleville handle everything?
No.
Or do you feel, and I know the answer,
No.
but I want to ask you. I know the answer, but I just for the
Oh,
people listening,
yeah.
how important is it for you?
No, this is,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, like I was saying before, reaching out to them schools, man, you don't wait on the coach to do it.
Mhm.
He dealing with how many other parents and kids,
Sure.
So I just, I took it upon myself to reach out to the Michigans and, whoever else, that I felt, my kids went to school they wanted to go to or they didn't want to go to. I would reach out to everybody, Sometimes you may not hear. I mean, it's times I done sent 20 DMs. You don't hear nothing back.
Mhm.
Imagine I had all Americans. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy out here.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely got to take over the recruitment. As far as that with the coaches, I took my kids to camps all across the country, man. I took other people's kids, not just mine. So yeah, you definitely, man, want to take over that recruitment. Don't just let the coach do it, because if you do, you might get left behind, and you don't be knowing what's going on. So I'm one of them parents who want to be hands on and know what's going on. So
Let me ask you a question, Dre. Did you act as a parent or as a coach when you did your recruiting for your babies? Because when you act as a parent, it'd be like, I'm not going to answer that call.
Well, with me personally, as a parent, I never coached. I coached 8-year-olds back in the day 1 year, so I'm not really a coach type. I just know how to play a little football and do little drills here and there. But yeah, man, I wouldn't.
So we got Tony. So I'm gonna ask Tony this question: how do you guys, as recruiters, Tony, respond to parents?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that a parent reaches out, I think you got to get back with them.
That's correct.
You especially, I think now that I'm a parent myself, like I can understand and appreciate, a parent that wants to be involved, in their kids, recruitment process. At the end of the day, they're trusting, myself, our coaches in this program, with their most prized, possession, and their kids. So, any questions that they may have, like my phone, I mean, every parent, every kid that we recruited, they've got my number. So I think in my role, you want to be a resource for these parents, especially it's a lot of their first time going through this process. So you want to be able to educate them and help them throughout this process, because it's a big decision.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but also too, before I go,
Sure.
It depends on the kid too. You may have, it depends on the kid too, because one of your kids may be, he may like the calls and stuff, and the other one may not want to talk or nothing, or don't even care about the process. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the kid too, as well. That that plays a factor of how you handle it as well. So
I agree, big bro. So what I've been doing is teaching kids to advocate for themselves and communicating to the coaches.
Yeah.
Now, when they talk to the parents, it's a general conversation. We got them on conference call, then we talking to the parents as well as the players, or if they got cousin Bob there too and mom, we just having a general conversation. But we have to educate your kids like you did, because I knew Andre, he was a talker, and he advocated, him and Miles, for the coaches. So now I know mom did some conversation. We talked about some schools and where he went, and she had to interject. Yes, but we got to teach our babies how to advocate for themselves, because the ones who's going to school is your child.
Right.
I've heard, and Andre, stay on the phone for a second, because this may apply.
Okay.
A former University of Michigan player, great player, won't say his name, but he's now coaching. And he told me once he went to a certain school and he went to go see a certain player. And they said, "Oh yeah, he's cool, but hey, I want you to look at Derek Denham Jr. over here." And he was like taken aback, like, "Well, hey, I appreciate that, but I came here to see," and they kind of deterred him from, wanting to talk to that player. So, and that's why I always tell parents, "Hey, man, take the recruiting process into your own hands, because no one's going to love your kid like you do. At the end of the day, they're not going to do the due diligence. They're not going, because the school has 50, how many other players they got to deal with, but nobody's going to do it like you."
I disagree.
That's fine.
Because I disagree, because the fact is coaches don't want to talk to your ass. I'll be honest.
Well, when I say
not all the time, but you got to be, because like the Sheldon family, I've been around them when they
Sure.
recruiting. They got involved. But I mean, you taking your own horn, you do it, whatever you got to do, but you got to have your baby doing majority of the work.
Well, I think me and you disconnected on this piece. I'm not saying your child should not speak up for himself.
My question is,
I'm saying, like Mr. Selden said, you was DMing coaches, you were sending out his highlights, you were contacting. That's what I'm saying. The business of the recruiting, you were taking them to go work out. You were doing this.
Yeah, more definitely.
Yeah, you've got and then even if you don't, if it's a single mom and she doesn't know the process, what did Miss Selden say? She had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
She learned the process as well.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there and learn for yourself.
Agree.
Hey, get these business cards, talk to people, network. That's what I'm talking about.
Agree.
Yeah.
Sheldon, you got any more, baby?
Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you, Big
I'm
Bro.
good, man.
Hey, what
Hey,
the
y'all
dog
good,
at?
man.
What the dog at? I ain't heard him barking over there.
No, I think his stomach hurt or something, man, because he been acting kind of cruddy. They probably ate something, so he kind of just laying around. So,
Hey,
I don't know.
a walk around the block could do anything.
Yeah, he ain't trying to move.
All right, baby.
We appreciate you.
Hey, for sure, appreciate y'all.
And we're going
All
to be
right, bro.
watching the other son, Miles, soon. We're going to be watching him, man. He's a great job.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, baby.
No doubt.
Hey, Tony, my last question, man. And you mentioned something, and please tell my players that when you come to college, probably by the first 2 or 3 practices, you know this guy loves football or not. But see, people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You want the NIL money, and trust me, if you're not doing your job for this NIL money, some guy's gonna take it away because you only getting paid monthly. You ain't getting a whole stipend up for the whole year.
Right. It's per year. Is it per year or monthly?
It's monthly. It's a year based on it, but they pay you monthly.
Sure.
They're not gonna give you. Some schools are giving money early, but you don't want to take. You got to know this guy gonna come into your university.
Sure.
But shit, they changing schools like they're changing underwear.
This is true.
And they dropping that cheddar. And I want to make sure Ali is in love with my football program, because I'm gonna run the hell out of his ass when he first get there and see how he commit to this game.
But it works both ways too, because you got guys leaving, but these programs are looking for guys in the portal too, right? It works both ways.
So Tony, you looking for them guys like who love football?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the number one thing. You gotta love ball first and foremost, because you're gonna play plenty of it when you get here. You gotta love the whole process,
Yes, sir.
whether it's the film, the nutrition, the weightlifting, it's all of it. Guys, they weed themselves out very quickly. To your point, Reg, you figure it out, a couple practices in, when it gets hard, what are you truly made of? And especially at a program, that's as intense as ours, where they expecting us to compete, for a national championship every day. We coach our players hard. They get after it in the weight room, and shoot, the players, the players gonna hold you accountable. So if you come in here and you not locked in and bought in and you serious, then sure, you ain't gonna belong here, because now you're hurting the team, and shoot, your teammates, they relying on you, they're depending on you, to perform. So it's real, and it's a business.
Right.
Like, shoot, y'all want to get paid, so sure, you got to work. I mean, it's a job now, for lack of better terms. And when you don't show up and you don't meet, the performance reviews, and you're not producing, shoot, a job ain't gonna keep paying you.
Tony, how do you handle when you may have a young man that's had success as a freshman so early? I know you guys got a few. How do you handle that with this NIL now, where somebody can say, hey, Derek Denham Jr., man, you had a great freshman year.
He's doing it. And they're doing that.
And they trying to purge or get your players, man, and offer even bigger bags. How do you handle that?
Yeah, you're saying as far as like our current roster, like guys that contribute, as a true freshman, and other schools trying to. Yeah, I think Well, I don't know if y'all followed, our team in the spring. We were pretty much the only school. We were the only school in SEC that didn't lose, a single player,
Right.
to the transfer portal. And I think that starts with your leadership, your head coach, and creating an environment, a competitive environment,
Yeah.
where guys are bought in, and that they want to be there and they believe in, the vision and the trajectory of the program. So I think it just starts with the environment and the culture, and making sure that you take care of your guys. If a guy is playing well and competing at a high level, then then you gotta compensate them fairly.
Yeah.
But with our players, they recognize that number one, the goal has to be to win, and in order for us to win, shoot, we gotta have a talented roster. And
Yeah.
with us having a talented roster, shoot, everybody everybody gotta sacrifice number
Right.
one. So yeah, maybe you could go elsewhere and double your money, but number one, is that the best spot for you, and are you going to truly be developed? Because at the end of the day, it's all about your development, as a young man and as a player. So you got to be at a place where you feel like they're truly preparing you, for your future. Because yeah, you could make a little bit more money right now, but if you're on a winning team, number one, chances are your draft stock is going to be a little higher. You see
Right.
every year, teams that win, national championships, they have more guys drafted.
Drafted,
Like,
yes.
I remember when Michigan won the national championship.
Yes.
I mean, you start going through the 7th round, like even those guys, start getting drafted. So it means something to come from a winning program. And secondly, you've got to be able to communicate to your players that that number one, we value you. We're gonna back that up, with the financial package, but also that we're gonna continue to develop you. We're gonna provide the resources here for you, to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position not only to make a couple more 100,000, but to make 10, 20, 30 extra million, in the longer grand scheme of things.
Creating generation wealth. It's not all about transferring. Now, I mean, you guys have done a great job in recruiting and building your program and building a winner. And that's why I tell my kids, I don't transfer kids where I don't know. I transfer where kids I know players, know coaches, right?
Mm.
Because it's important. You're transferring for money and you go somewhere you don't know, they may not like your work ethic.
Right.
At least I can inform you about my prospect, work ethic, and desire to be first. And I'm gonna tell you right off the rip, yeah, he's an NFL prospect mentally.
Hmm.
He may not have Anthony Carter's skill set, but he's showing the hell he got his mindset to be first and everything, and you can't fail that way.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I believe when we transfer my kids, I have to know somebody on staff that's going to get in his rear end,
Hmm.
push him, because you don't want no. It's hard to take a kid that transferred 3 times, man,
Yeah.
because he's not looking for that generation wealth. He's looking for some extra cheddar right now.
Right.
And if you transfer that many times, every time you transfer, you're losing credits. So he probably won't even graduate unless he stays at a school for a certain amount of time.
Right.
I would say this, and I've been living with this. When your ass is in school for 6 years, 5 years plus, it's hard to get in the NFL because your mindset changed, man. Your mind change. I got about 5 of them. Like, man, I don't know if I can do this for another 2 years.
Yeah, you transfer 3-4 times, man. That's a lot of red flags to any NFL program.
True.
That goes back what you said earlier, man. Dude, this guy love football. He just love that money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Reg, anything else for Tony?
No,
Let
man. I
Tony
just
go?
want to Tone, thank you, man. I appreciate him coming on, man. And in Alabama, man, we got a lot of players. We don't have a lot of players that can play there. We have a few, but if you want to get down there, you got to go see Tony Jones.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Fellas, it's been a pleasure, an honor. I appreciate y'all even, reaching out to me to have this opportunity to, support y'all.
Sure.
And hopefully I was able to, drop a couple nuggets, so that the families, the kids listening can take something from it. I'm available. I don't turn down, any opportunity to watch some film. So, any guys that y'all have that y'all feel that can compete at this level, shoot their film my way, and I'll be more than happy to take a look.
All right. Hey, tell Courtney I'm coming to see him spring break.
Spring break.
I'm coming
you got
spring
to
break.
pull up down here in the fall, man. You got to catch a game. Spring break.
It's rough for me then, but I mean, I'm gonna load up a bus and come down and hang out with y'all.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
always welcome.
Tony,
appreciate you.
Much love, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, fellas.
And anytime. You guest anytime.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
Right.
Okay.
All right, fam. Thanks.
Stay up.
All right, roll tide.
Yeah, roll tide. Man, that's good stuff.
Information. I mean,
good stuff.
I just like the point that he said that we gonna know if you love football or not.
Yeah.
That transfer portal is active.
Yeah.
So if you handle your business on that field, and that's why I keep telling my young fellas
about it.
Your mindset is your conditioning. You got to compete in conditioning just as much as you got to compete on the field and one-on-ones. Sure. You got to get your mindset right. You don't have to be the greatest player skill-wise in the damn country. Mm-hmm. You just got to be the best in working hard and being consistent.
And it's funny because when Mark went there, there was a little bit more to Mark going there. I mean, it was the relationships. His dad played at Michigan State. Bobby Williams told Nick about. So it's a lot of little nuances that was involved in that.
And his ass was good.
No, I'm not saying Mark wasn't good.
I know.
At that time, if you remember, Jonas was in that same class.
That's correct.
And it's funny, when it took Jonas up to Michigan State, they were taking Jonas all in the carts, and John L. Williams, whatever his name, the coach was. And it's like Mark, they wasn't even really paying attention to Mark. And it's just funny how the world, how things play out. And Mark, at that time in high school, I mean, Mark was more known for being a third down back, could catch the ball, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes to win the Heisman. So, hey, you never know how this thing's going to play out. But
I think the coach that recruited him was Dan Enos, if I'm not mistaken. So
Dan Enos did recruit him.
Yeah.
He sure did. Dan did recruit.
That's his younger days.
Yeah, Dan did recruit him. And I got a story about that too, but that's for another day. But let's get into I know time is flowing. Let's get into the rest of the show. Reg.
And let's talk about my Rising Stars first game was this weekend. Me and Ali and my videographer, we traveled to Toledo CC versus Wash Jesuit. Mm-hmm. And Ohio got some good football players, man. And we was impressed. And Ali may beg a difference, but Victor Singleton, he's a true dude, got some shit to work on, but impressively played his rear end off. Mm-hmm. Amari Ariano, man, 6'1", 6'2" receiver, safety, had his debut played. And Ali Bahan, he was there. He did very well, Ali. And Preston Frizzell is going to Notre Dame. And then we got the best player on the field that day was, my point of view, is Jeremiah Fuller. Great coaching staff, got to fix some little stuff. They got a big game this weekend, this Thursday or this Friday, right? Versus Cass Tech. Victor Singleton versus CJ Saller. What you think, Ali?
Yeah, obviously first the Cass Tech and Toledo CC game, that might be the biggest game going on this week. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as far as the game, I think, the overall MVP for Toledo CC was Jeremiah Fuller. He contributed. He had a forced fumble on defense. He had a touchdown on offense. He had probably like a 60-yard kick return.
Yeah. So
I think he was MVP. And then from Walsh Jesuit, they had multiple guys that, really did good. And I would say they're not like a major – they're a really good team, but they're not known as much. But they definitely impressed, and they probably, to like a lot of people, pulled the upset with beating Toledo CC.
Well, I'm going to say this. If they play again in 3 weeks, Toledo's beating the snot out of them. I'm just saying. I mean, they had the safety was a stud muffin, the DN, Bowling Green, safety of Toledo, wide receiver Iowa State. The running back I like, number 5. I was impressed, but I mean, me personally, I mean, Toledo, that was their worst game.
Mm.
That was their worst game. So
let's make our picks.
okay, I ain't
Let's-
scared. I ain't scared of you, Ali. I'm
Let's-
making my
let's-
pick.
Let's make the pick. Who you
Okay.
got? Who you got, Ali?
I think I'm gonna go with Cass Tech because honestly, Toledo. I mean, they're gonna correct it going into week 2, but I think they beat themselves a lot. But also offensively, they didn't score enough, and I just think with all the playmakers that Cass Tech has, if they can score a certain amount, I don't know if Toledo CC can match it because I don't know if they're built to be in a shootout, but at the same time, their defense might slow down Cass to where it is a low scoring game like how it was this week. But I think I'm gonna go with Cass Tech. Only thing that's tough is it's Cass's first game. It's Toledo CC's second.
Yeah, baby.
So they're gonna be a lot of times the biggest growth is from week 1 to week 2. So they're gonna be a different team than what we seen.
Man, I'm torn, and you just hit the nail right on the head about Cass Tech playing first game. They're
Yeah.
young, but their offensive line is huge.
Huge.
Coach Russ is a dude. He's a great coach. Shit, I'm going possibly tie maybe Toledo CC beat them overtime.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, like you just said, it's tough because I'm thinking that Cass Tech may look like Toledo did the first game because you saw the dudes, but they just made so many mistakes because they're babies.
Yeah.
Because that quarterback is young. Tay Brown's the best quarterback in the area, one of the best quarterbacks. So I'm just hoping Toledo might be on too.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm taking Cass. I'm taking Cass for a few reasons. I got a chance to see them in a 4-way scrimmage last week.
Oh, that was good as hell.
And what I seen, ain't too many teams beating them, man. That line on both sides of the ball. You got CJ Sadler. He's going to make plays on both sides of the ball. You've got Don Tabron, who he played well last year, but I think he's going to play great, even greater this year. So it's going to be interesting, but with everything that Cass brings to the table, I've seen Toledo. I didn't see him when you guys did, but I've seen him last year. I just don't think they're going to be able to compete if Cass, especially with those line of scrimmage.
And that's where they beat. But now they got a lot of fast guys at Toledo, but they're not big as Cass.
Sure.
And then it's hard to defend them big ass tractors running by the backfield.
Bingo.
But it's going to be on Don to do his thing.
Sure.
And if he can change his narrative, beating those guys convincingly, he can change his narrative real fast.
Yeah. So we got all 3, Cass Tech. Let's go. What we got next?
Belleville versus Clarkston on Thursday.
Okay. Ali.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Clarkson. I wouldn't be surprised if they win convincingly because last year that was a really good game that Clarkson almost won. And I think Belleville is just a super young team right now. And that Clarkson team, majority of that team is back.
Yeah.
So they're all a year older and more experienced. And Belleville's going to be playing a lot of starters for the first time. So I just think, especially week 1, Clarkson's at a big time advantage. And honestly, everyone's going to talk about losing Bryce Underwood for Belleville. And, it's almost impossible to replace, the number 1 overall player in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's bigger than that because they had a senior heavy team. So they're losing guys at a lot of positions. So I just think, especially early on, it's probably going to take a toll on them. So I think, I'll go with Clarkson.
Rich.
I'm going with Clarkson too, but Kendall Franklin can get hot as a fish fryer. And if Kendall get hot, they got enough talent. But I'm going to take Clarkson based on experience, the young quarterback, Alex Walezinko. The Twins is back. They got 126 Division I currently player, which is the big lineman is just got offered by Northwestern, currently committed to Miami, Ohio. So I watched them over the scrimmage. Nothing special. They're going to control the game. They can't out-skill Belleville.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't do it. But they're going to have to play hard. The Twins going to run like troopers. So Belleville is on. It's on his scale, man. I'm hoping they do what they do. Don't know, but I'm going with Clarkston.
I'm gonna go against the grain, guys. I'm going to take Belleville. Got a chance again to see Clarkston in the 4-way. And much love to my guy Wendell Childs Jr., man, and his dad. Great people. I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year.
That's great.
Both sides of the ball. He's like 6'3",
6'2",
6'2".
Fastest in the state of
Fast,
Michigan.
yeah, fast. 800 meter, 400 meter kid. I think he's gonna have a breakout year. But outside of him, I really didn't see a lot, guys. In my humble opinion, some of those the other corner, I didn't see a lot. I don't know if Clarkston has the running game like they used to have and the line play that they've had in the past. Belleville is young, but again, it's still Belleville. Okay. So I'm going to take Belleville in this one.
Okay.
Grand Blanc versus Mona Shore.
Muskegon.
Allie, what you think?
Man, honestly, I think this game could go either way. I like Grand Blanc because they got a returning QB, and I think Grand Blanc is one of the sleeper teams in D1. I know Mona Shores, their QB from last year was a senior, but they still got the running back coming back that's going to Miami, Ohio, and Mona Shores, Muskegon area. They always have a top team, but I just think I think I'm high on Grand Blanc. I think they could be really good this year, so I'm going with Grand Blanc.
They match up very well. Got a good Grand Blanc, got a good running back, good quarterback, good receiver. They match up very well, but Mona Shores has majority seniors. And I think Grand Blanc has majority, I don't know if all senior, but I think the running back is junior. He's nice. I'm taking Mona Shores. A well-coached team structure. The quarterback been there for 3 years or 4 years starting. I like what they've been doing. Like you said, it can go both ways. I'm taking Mona Shores over Grand Blanc.
Well, we just had Tony Jones on from Grand Blanc. And Tony, unfortunately, I'm going to have to choose against Grand Blanc on this one. I know Mona Shores and Grand Blanc played last year. And Mona Shores won a very close game, 28-26. So that tells me that they're probably still evenly matched. But Mona Shore has a very strong ground game. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Mona Shores on this one. Okay. Next up, we've got Saline versus Rockford. Great matchup. Allie, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the game is at Rockford, and that's probably the toughest, away game to play, especially being like, I think 2, 3, maybe even 3 hours from Saline. And last year, Cass Tech was the D1 champs, and Rockford beat them week 1. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really tough game for Saline. But I like Saline's team, like from a talent perspective more. So I think I'm going to go with Saline. I think they're returning a good amount of players. But I wouldn't be surprised if, that the home atmosphere gives Rockford a boost and they win that game. But I think I'll go with Saline.
Well, I'm going with Saline. One, Short is going back home. He graduated from Rockford. Played quarterback out there, and it's personal for him because he wanted to show him that he can coach, because he can coach. Mm-hmm. And the thing that Saline has, you don't have too many athletic 6'7" wide receivers / tight end.
Sure.
In the defensive end, I bet you Alan Sandoval as well as Isaiah Harris probably have 2 or 3 sacks apiece because he can't block both of them. That linebacker is really, really, really good. What's his name, Ali? Barbaric? Something. He's
Yeah, his name is Bryce. His last name, I don't
You
know.
say barbaric. Hey,
no,
what name with
close.
barbaric?
Yeah, he's a
That tell you where he
monster.
yeah, right.
He's a monster. I watch him and he should be in top 5 in the linebacker core. But I mean, I go back to say do nothing, get nothing. But he is, when I saw him, he was one of the best players at that 4-way scrimmage. So I'm going with Short to win versus Rockford.
All right. I'm gonna take despite Rockford having a perennial great program every year. That home crowd, man, is tough up in Rockford to get a dub. I'm gonna have to go with Tommy Carr and that tight end he got, man. Got a chance to see them in the 4-way scrimmage too. And Tommy is a player. He's a dude, like you say, Red.
Dude.
He's a dude, and yeah. So I think that combination, along with those defensive ends you're talking about, I think they're gonna go up to Rockford and get a tough dub. That's what I got.
Well, on this next pick, just kind of speed it up,
Yeah.
get going. Davidson versus Roseville. Go ahead, Derek.
I'm gonna have to take Davidson on this one. I think Roseville is young, got a few good players, but I did get a chance to see Davidson in some 7-on-7s, and they were tough last year, and I think they're gonna beat Roseville this year. Ali.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Davidson too. I know Roseville. They're graduating. Starting QB from last year, receiver Desmond Stroughton that went to Illinois, and Davidson is usually one of the top teams in the state. They got Jackson Dash coming back. They got Ben Nichols on the O line. So I just think overall Davidson has more. So I think I'll ride with Davidson.
I'm gonna take Davidson as well. They have a lot, and what's my baby name? Ty Anthony Lewis, and he's gonna have a breakout party. So I'm gonna take Davidson, and I like Dash too. So Dash.
There it is. Brother Rice versus Dakota. I'll start off on this one. I think Coach Marshall and them are going to be definitely better this year with their track record of improvement. They're still a very young team. But going up against Dakota, I think that's going to be tough for them. I'm going to have to take Dakota on this one. I still think Brother Rice may be a year away. And then from that point on, it's only popping. But I'm going to go with Dakota on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think it'll probably be closer than what people think. Because I think, like you said, Brother Rice is going to be improved.
Sure.
I think Dakota is just Brother Rice is just too young right now, and Dakota is, one of the state's, toughest teams. So I just think, Dakota will win. But next year if they rematch, I don't know, Brother Rice might win that one.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that Brother Rice is starting a freshman quarterback.
Yep.
I understand that. I do know that they have the best underclassmen in the state of Michigan. Draco and my baby Booker,
sure,
as well as Jay Bell.
Jay Bell, yeah.
T.T. Tyler.
Sure.
The young guy Christian Marshall's in. Cameron Lou. They are 1 year away from competing for the state championship.
Yeah.
That's not the day. I'm the verdict is out on the young quarterback. He's a poised kid, not a big kid, but he don't pump Kool-Aid, he pump blood, and he got some tools.
For sure.
But I'm going with Dakota because that line is big.
Exactly.
And but Brother Rice D line is good. So they got the tools, the tangibles. I just think they're not ready yet, but you can shock me, Aaron, and crack their head. Let's go. But they have the potential. They're trying to figure out where everybody's placed at. So I'm taking Dakota.
There it is. Next up, we've got Detroit Catholic Central versus Chippewa Valley. Ali, go ahead.
Taking
I can go with
go ahead,
Detroit CC. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a a big win for Detroit CC because Chippewa, well, they're kind of going through, I say, a rough time right
Sure.
now. I mean, last year they lost to West Bloomfield 42-0, and West Bloomfield lost pretty bad to CC. And CC's always good in the trenches. They got Samson Gash coming back. So I think CC will win the game.
I'm going with CC. CC is going to be successful because their line is humongous.
Mhm.
I don't know who the running back is, but Duke Banner been doing good at quarterback. Sam Gash is what he is. But the unsung hero they're not talking about is Michael Dursa,
Mm.
6'6" receiver / tight end. And brother Detroit CC, it's hard to beat him. The coaches, speak different, but I'm going there. But I'm hoping my baby over there, he been quiet, Brady Collins, to have a breakout season in a breakout game.
Mhm.
Because all eyes on you, Brady. So I'm going with CC.
Well, unless Chippewa Valley has a Delilah to beat a Samson, I've got to go with Catholic Central.
Mhm.
I think, like you said, Reds and Ali, with the line they got, Samson Gash, the other brother, I just think they're going to be too tough to beat those kids over there. So I got to go with CC on that. Next up, Harper Woods versus Redford Union. I'll start off on this one. I think this is pretty easy. Harper Woods got the quarterback. They got the two young receivers, the coach over there, and Coach Oden, what he's building, man. I just think this is going to be probably one of the bigger blowouts of the weekend.
Mhm.
Ali?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Harper Woods. I just think, man, as a defense, it's almost impossible to stop the receiving core they have. So I just think, through the air, that'll be tough to stop. And just overall, I think Harper Woods has more. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think Redford Union could keep it close. Last year wasn't a huge win, but I do think Harper Woods will win, whether that's a close game or a big game, a big win.
Ain't no damn close game. That's the best. That's the best skill I've seen. And one of my favorites, Coach Odom,
Mhm.
and he done a phenomenal job with these players. What they got now? They little line and they small.
Mhm.
Redford has the D line. What's it, Lillard?
Yeah, Lillard.
D lineman, and he's a doo. He's the doo, and he's gonna have a good one. You're gonna have to have 8 guys to block him. Them skill want to get in the backfield.
Sure.
But Harper Woods. It is hard to check them all them damn 19 receivers going out for fades. You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So I take my babies.
Okay. Next up, Dearborn Fortson versus West Bloomfield. Ali.
Honestly, this one I think could go either way.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna go with Fortson because a lot of West Bloomfield's players are going both ways, and Fortson more so has guys that play offense only and defense only. So I think throughout the course of the game, if you know, they'll just be more conditioned to win the game, and then also they have a really big line.
Mm.
So I think if they can establish the run, that's what West Bloomfield struggled with last year. So I think, but honestly, I think if for West Bloomfield, it's going to come down to if Shakespeare can take over the game, they could win the game. But it could go either way. But I'll go with Forza.
Yeah. New coach at Fortson, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, we couldn't they wouldn't let us in the damn scrimmage. Okay. I like that. But I'm going with my Lakers at West Bloomfield. Carver gonna have a good game. Shake.
Mhm.
Gonna tattoo their ass. Fortson has some good players, a big line. The verdict is out on the new coach.
Sure.
So I'm going West Blee.
I got to go with WB. I think they got a point to prove this year. A lot of people kind of doubting West B this year. And I think, like you said, Shake is going to do his thing. I think it's going to be a good game, though. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but my going with my head on this one. I think WB is going to take the victory.
All right.
Let's go to Orchard Lake St. Mary's versus Portage Northern. Ollie, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with St. Mary's. Um, I mean, a lot of people got St. Mary's as a number 2 team in the state right now, so they're gonna be really tough to beat.
Hmm.
I know they're losing the Michigan State commits. They have 4 of them, but
Hmm.
they're reloading. They got guys everywhere, so I just think that overall they're gonna be too much to handle. So I'll go with St. Mary's.
I'm going to St. Mary's. Portage Northern don't have enough. Just have an offensive tackle that's very big and athletic. He's committed to Notre Dame. He's good.
Hmm.
He's good. His daddy's a coach. He's been coaching him up. I kind of watched some little film, but St. Mary's is in the move to win another state championship. They got to clean some shit up over there, but I'm taking St. Mary's.
I'm going to have to take St. Mary's.
Wonder why?
Well, they're a better team. Portage Northern, they played last year at home at St. Mary's. Got to make a 2-hour ride up to Portage Northern. And actually, St. Mary's, I think, plays on the road the first 6 games. So this is going to be a little interesting. But St. Mary's got too much. I think between the skills, the defensive line St. Mary's has can dominate. And then it should be the Javen Gonzalez show. So we're going to go with St. Mary's on that one.
Okay.
Next up, we got East Kentwood versus Southfield A&T. What you got, Allie?
Yeah, I think East Kentwood will win with the running clock. It's not a lot at Southfield, and East Kentwood is another sleeper team in D1. I think from the west side, they might be the team to make it to Ford Field because I feel like every year has been a new team, and this might be their year. They got a senior QB going to Michigan State, and they have a loaded team like Spence. He's turned it around at East Kentwood fast.
Sure.
I'm going East Kentwood. Shane Lockenauer, you don't put up 30 plus. We got problems. I like my Southfield coach. They babies, man. They babies. They got some talent, but they babies. They're still trying to figure out a quarterback. One of the quarterback left went to Ferndale. But Shane, you don't put up 30. Don't even call me. And but I got a Shane Thomas over the DN and linebacker. I'm hoping he have his breakout game. And over Southfield A&T. So, but I'm taking Kentwood.
Got to take Kentwood on that one. I think Southfield is young. Who's the coach of Southfield now? He's a
McKenzie.
Yeah.
Keith McKenzie in the NFL.
Played NFL player.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to mean a lot to those guys they can learn from. But I just think he's going to need a couple of years. Like you said, what Spence is doing up there, those receivers they got at Kentwood. I don't think Southfield will be able to hang with those boys. So I got to take Kentwood. Next up, we've got the Trey John C. Trey John just took the head coaching job at Waterford Mott. So we got Waterford Mott versus Wall Lake Northern. Ollie, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Waterford Mott. I think just overall they have a better team, and then they got Gino Sheets that's going to Central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
They got the DN Max is going to Charlotte, and Walled Lake Northern hasn't been the best of teams as of late. So
Sure.
I just think historically, I would go with Waterford Mott.
Reg?
It can go either way. It can go either way because Waterford Mott, if the same coach is still there, he was a pretty good coach. But Waterford Mott, I want Trey to have this first win.
Mm-hmm.
He do have some players. Malcolm Gibson, the running back from West Bloomfield, transferred over there, and he got some skills. He can run. Some good coaches over there, Trey as well as Damaris Woods over there. I want Trey to be his first game. They got some pretty uniforms. He's doing a good job on them damn social media, them uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking Waterford.
Yeah, this is one Waterford Mott. Got the nephews over there, Trey and Damaris. Definitely wishing those guys much success. They previously at St. Mary, so they're going to take what they learned from that program over there, and I'm sure instilling it over at Mott with Geno Seats, what he can do as a receiver and a quarterback. And then I got a chance to see them, Reg, at a 707 at the D Zone.
Yeah, I was there.
And so, yeah, I think Waterford Mott should
Okay.
definitely pull us out. Wall Lake Western versus Milford. Reg, let's start with you on this one.
Wall Lake Western, I ranked him 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a name.
Mhm.
And you better remember this damn name.
Uh-oh.
Donovan Triplett.
Mm.
I watched him at UOD scrimmage, man. And he looked like a damn video game.
Oh, no doubt.
And you can say what you want to say, Michigan State or Michigan and all these guys who passed on his baby. This guy is the best running back in the state of Michigan in 26 class.
Wow.
It's just Coach wins.
Let's go win.
You know what I mean? And you don't like little guys, but it's okay. I love him. And he's going to go to Western Michigan and get drafted from there if he can stay healthy. 5'7", 5'6", 200 pounds, 4'4". Blake Corum did it.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Triplett's turn. I'm taking Wall Lake Western.
Love it. Dolly?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wall Lake Western. I think Triplett should be in the mix for Mr. Football. I think he rushed for 2,000 yards last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to even do better as a senior, a year older, more developed. And Walled Lake Western has took control of the conference. But I will say, Milford is one of the more consistent teams that's like not talked about a lot, but they win. So I think, they'll be tougher. But I just think Triplett is going to be on a mission this year at Walled Lake.
Well, Milford do got a quarterback now. They got Huddy over there.
Yeah.
So he transferred from CC over there now. So it's his world. But I mean, if you can't stop the run, you can't win.
No. I think Wall Lake is turning into RBU. I mean, they are producing running backs. The one before Reg, he's at Minnesota.
Darius Taylor, yeah.
Taylor, and what Triplett is doing. And then they've got a St. Mary's kid that just transferred over there, Michael Walker. So I think he's going to contribute. He's going to surprise a lot of people. And then I can't forget my guy, David Craw, quarterback. He's going to do some phenomenal stuff.
Good off season. Good off season, yeah.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. So, Milford is always tough, kind of unpredictable, but definitely got to go with Wall Lake Western on this one.
All right, let's roll.
Detroit King versus Whitmer, Ohio. Ollie, what you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with King. But like I said about Cass, it's I believe this is going to be Whitmer's second game.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'll make a lot of growth. I know that Whitmer has a receiver that's committed to Bowling Green, so he's a good player. I don't know enough about their team, but I'm gonna ride with the home state team. And I know King is going to be loaded. They got a lot of guys, so I think I'll go with King.
Ollie, what you washing dishes over there, man? What you doing?
I'm going with King.
Okay.
Because Coach TP
guy
is the offensive guru. And if you don't know, you will know after the night. If you're a quarterback and you can play for Detroit King, because you're only good as your offensive coordinator. And he proved it.
Sure.
If you look at the last notes, Dante Moore is a starter for Oregon.
No doubt.
Okay, you look at Dante Moore. Oh, I forgot. DeQuan Finn.
Sure.
It's a starter for Miami, Ohio, who came from Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
He won. He went to the championship with a DB. And he can flimster and throw.
Sure.
So now he got Knight over there, Andrew Knight over there that's committed to Illinois State. And then you can't forget, Don Spillers is probably going to be one of the best players in the country. They just moved him to a different position, so we're going to see how this stuff work. But he's a dude. Sure. So I'm taking Detroit King.
Well, much as I hate to go against my guy, man, TP, I got to take Whitmer on this.
Ooh, let's get the money out.
Got to take Whitmer on this. Did my research on them, man, and they're a tough team. We're not this is familiar with them, obviously being here in the state of Michigan, but from what I've read and my little research and highlights I've seen, I just I think King is young. Um, yeah, I think they're young. I think going into that environment, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a lot of scoring, but my instincts tell me Whitmer might pull this one out.
Okay, Spider Man, let's get it,
There
baby.
you go.
I like that.
Spider sense, baby.
It's tingling. All right.
It's tingling. Last but not least, we got River Rouge versus Westland John Glenn. Ollie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with River Rouge. I think they played. I know they played last year, and I think they played the year before that too.
Sure.
And Rouge won both times. I just think, I think they won pretty convincingly too. So I think I'll stick with Rouge. I know they got a new coach, Crowell,
Mm-hmm.
and John Glenn. They were, I think 3-6. So yeah, I'm gonna go with River Rouge, but we'll see because both teams are kind of unproven right now.
Sure. Rich.
I went to the 4-way scrimmage and watched John Glenn, and I was impressed.
Okay.
The quarterback is impressive. You got Michael Gray over there that's a dude,
Mm-hmm.
right? White chocolate, Jay Rich is nice. They got a young freshman corner, probably about 6'1". I'm taking John Glenn. I'm
Interesting.
taking John because they run a wing T.
Interesting.
And people are sleeping on John Glenn athletes. And they ain't afraid to scrap.
Okay.
So it may have to go over River Rouge and fight.
Exactly.
And then my coach Jones over there, my baby boy, I'm going with John Glenn. They're going to beat him by 2.
Okay. All right. Well, I got to disagree with you on this
Okay,
one.
I'm okay.
I haven't heard anything about Westland John Glenn since I played in a guy named Mr. Tony Boyles that played at Michigan.
Bose.
Yeah, it was that guy back in the day.
The quarterback is his grandson.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I didn't want to tell it about that. But yeah.
Hey, well, we telling our age, so. But yeah, got to go with Coach Crowell, man. He's taking the reins over River Rouge. Know what Crowell can do. He can take a rabbit out hat at any moment.
Okay.
And he's going to have some doo-doos over there, if not this year, the next couple years.
Absolutely.
And Crowell's going to definitely make a difference. So I'm going to take Crowell and River Rouge in this one.
I'm okay with that. We'll see. We'll see next game.
What we got?
Up
next, what we got?
Top 29s. I don't know. You got to help me out. I got Christian Marshall.
Sure.
From Brother Rice. Isaiah Marshall played last night. His brother, you see how he did? He did pretty good out there. His first game.
Yeah, he got that touch. Yeah, I seen that.
So Cameron Lowe, the big corner over Brother Rice, he's nice, 29.
Sure. Davis
Green from Cass Tech, DN, offensive tackle. The Taylor Thomas kid from Cass Tech, I like that joker.
Mm-hmm.
He made that nice catch over the end zone.
Yeah, that's Andre Thomas from Belleville's little brother.
Correct. So I like him over there. Blair Jones from Saline got a 1 offer already. It's 6'2", safety, move well. Caleb Harris, a big linebacker out there, Saline as well. Cameron Flowers, a Wall Lake Western linebacker. Henry Lansing, Jack Lansing, little brother out in Heartland High School, 6'2", 6'3". And then Cameron Parson from Detroit Country Day is another one I have. And then Hilton Eason, 5'9", Brother Rice, and he's another dude too. So sure. I know I missed a lot.
Yeah.
If you know some more, shoot a text or send a DM in there to say who I missed. Help me out for my 29s.
Off the top of my head, Peyton Robinson is going to Cass Tech.
Cass Tech, the corner receiver. Yeah, we saw
He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amir Forrest, I call him Boogie. He's Coach Ronde, the defensive coordinator at King's son. He's a QB. He already had some early offers, but I don't know if he doesn't start at QB, he might play some other positions, or they might keep him at QB.
Sure.
And if they do keep him at QB, he's gonna be, right on Andrew Knight's, neck trying to get that spot. So,
You
so
Right.
yeah, we'll
starting
see.
a quarterback controversy. I see. I hear you.
No, I'm not. But that's just what I'm hearing.
Sure.
All right, and my last piece is I found some underdogs at these four-way scrimmages and these scrimmages.
Okay.
That was impressive. The linebacker we talked about from Saline
Mm-hmm.
he was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. BJ Adams at linebacker. Just once he commit the linebacker position, St. Mary's.
Sure.
He once he committed that position, and he's going to be fine.
Man-child.
Lovett did good at Cash Tech.
Mm-hmm. Carson.
Yeah, he did really good. Tabron had a phenomenal day. He was impressive.
Did very well.
Who was I had over there? I don't know. Did you see any more Ali out there? I went to.
You were telling me about a few kids from Brighton.
Oh, Brighton. So Brighton had like 3 or 4 big DNs and offensive linemen, man. The quarterback is a quarterback, I think, transferred from Lapeer. The quarterback transfer. He looked pretty good. But they was a tight end. They had the biggest line at Brighton I ever seen. 6'6", 6'7".
Jeez.
Tight. I think the DN or tight end is going to Eastern. But they were straight over there. My man is Sam, the quarterback over out there in Grosse Pointe South, was pretty good. And I talk about the Michael Gray from John Glenn that impressed the hell out of me. And so I'm trying to see if I miss anybody. Running back. There was a running back that grows a sophomore, junior, 6 feet by 210. Wonk. Okay. So he's running over 2 people. And then I saw Malcolm Ross over there at UAD did some special shit, man.
Sure.
I don't know if he need to convert to a nickel slot or something, but he's too gifted just to be a quarterback.
St. Mary's has a young receiver.
Oh yeah, the one Afro, the sophomore.
Yeah, he's going to be one to watch. He's definitely gonna be one to watch soon.
Yeah, that 2028 receiver class in Michigan is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Like they might have 5 or 6 guys go P5. So
Yeah.
And then I just got to add to it. Don't get caught up in your feelings about your rankings or where you at, and not having the offers. And the most important part, if you listen to what Tony and Miss Sheldon said, it's just about you're competing.
Mm-hmm.
Love the game. When you love the game is going to love you back. You have to trust the process. You have to work. It's nothing giving. Now, I don't give offers. You earn those offers.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you say, Coach Wins, I'm a scholarship guy, I need to get an offer because JoJo got an offer. I don't give a heck what JoJo got. I'm watching you every day.
Sure.
If you grinding, you working, then you get an opportunity to get an offer. And the offer generates more offer because the offer is going to say, hey, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I can play football. But if you are not working and then you're expecting an offer, you're not going to get one from me. And I have the pool. I have the contacts, but you got to help me by giving me some good film,
Mm-hmm.
some good movement. And like Tony said, if you don't, when you come on campus, by the 3rd day, I'm going to know if you love football. So earn your scholarships. Keep working. You can't get around nowhere without paying something because facilities is not cheap. Traveling is not cheap. I just created a bus tour for games,
Mm-hmm.
Traveling all across the country. For recruiting, I need to make sure my young babies understand this recruiting process. I need for you to advocate for yourself, and then I will be your back. Because before you go anywhere with me, they're going to see your film or know a lot about you. So when you impress me by your mindset, your skill set is easy, you get paid. So work on you. Have a damn great season. And get going. I'm going to have a Zoom call for my babies, my academy babies, about what to do now. What's next? And put you guys in a situation so you can be successful. All right?
Love it, man. Ali, any final words?
Yeah, I mean, two things. The first thing what he said about rankings is honestly, it doesn't really matter who's the best at 14, 15, 16. At the end of the day, you want to be the best at 21, 22, 25, 26. Because, like, you look at, there's 5 stars that don't make it to the NFL, and there's 0 stars that do. And the Lions, like, is a lot of people's favorite team. They're a great example. Like, Isaac Tesla, he went to Hillsdale.
Sure did.
He was a D2 guy. So I think people just get caught up in
Yeah.
Power 4 and being a 5-star, 4-star. And the thing is, just take advantage of whatever you can get and just work. Because, like, there's people with D2 offers that are not happy with that, but you just got to make the best of your situation sometimes. And the other thing is what Reggie said about, it costs money sometimes, but the way I look at it is like to get involved with programs, but the way I look at it is it's an investment. If that can earn your son a scholarship to a university, down the line you could save 20, 30, 40, 50K, 60K. And, and now even with NIL, if he's a player of that caliber, helping someone reach, a Division I school, and that'll help put money in his pockets through NIL and things like that. But also, like, you need to put the work in, and a lot of these trainers and strength coaches, speed coaches, like, they're dedicating their time and they're experts at what they do. So, it's not going to come for free.
And just to add to that conversation, and Ali can touch bases on as well as Derek, every college visit is not an offer. Every college visit, you have to make it a relationship.
Yeah.
You can't go everywhere. If the janitor in the school are inviting you to come to their visit, they trying to fill the seats. You got to figure out a way to reach your positional coach. And it's okay. You can't go everywhere. Go where they like you. Go where they talking about you. Just inviting you to a game, that don't mean nothing. That means that, hey, we hear about you. You got a chance. But then you have to know your profile. You have to know that, are you a Michigan recruiter or recruit? You have to know if you're a Grand Valley recruit. You have to know. So like Coach Tony said, we got to make sure that you're right for us and you're great in our locker room. We want to see, can we take a chance on you? I said, but so don't go everywhere. Identify your worth. Because if you a damn 5'7" receiver and expect to go play at Michigan running a 4.8, it ain't happening.
Right.
It ain't happening. So identify your profile. And everybody can't play at Michigan. But maybe at Adrian, maybe at Grand Valley, maybe at Princeton or Duke. So figure out what your profile is. Google the rosters of every school you're attending. See how big your position is and see what they're looking for. All right?
I just want to add, last thing is, and I'll just say this to the coaches, because so many times we talk about the players, what they should do and how they should do it, woo, woo, woo. But it's important, Reg and Ali, that, you got some of these kids, man, especially Reg now, things are so much different than when you and I played. It's specialized, now you're doing football 365, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these kids are putting in the work. And everybody's background and everybody's road to travel is different. is not going to be the same. So these coaches got to learn, man, that it's important. Yeah, you break your kids down, you get in their ass and do this, but show them that love too, man. Break them down, but build them back up. At the end of the day, because I think these kids got so many different things going on, man, that we didn't have. Reg and Ollie. Well, Ollie, you're a little bit younger than us, but Reg and I, it's just a different day, man. It's a different day, and you gotta just give these kids grace. Don't give them anything you got to earn everything, but at the same time, you're gonna break them down, build them back up.
That's right.
Because there's gonna be a lot of kids, man, at the end of the year, that may be their last time playing football, period. And they're gonna go on and do some different things. So I just thought it was important to say that.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point, because I think a lot of times high school kids get carried away thinking about playing college football and don't enjoy the Friday night lights, when to a lot of people that's the most fun they'll ever have. And honestly, that's probably the only football. Well, I guess you could say there is politics in high school, but
Sure.
college is turned into a business.
Mhm.
NFL's it's a business. So
Yeah.
I say just be where your feet are, man. Like, the season's starting. You guys have all the opportunities to, prove what you want to prove. And everyone has a fresh slate. Everyone's, 0-0, 0-0. And, it's really up to you. And just have fun while doing it. Like you said, not everyone, first, not everyone's going to go to college, but also you don't know how many snaps, how many games you're going to play. Anything can happen to anyone, injuries, things like that. So just don't take any moment for granted.
Sure. Well, with that being said, man, great show. Tony Jones, man, we appreciate you. Roll Tide. And then Miss Autumn Selden, man, great stuff. She's talking about the NIL. And then next week, can I preview a little bit, Reg?
Yeah.
We're going to have a man, Mr. Huff. He's going to be coming in from the P80, what he does, man, with fitness, and a lot of the kids that he's worked with so many kids that over the years, and a lot of kids you've seen in the pros and high school and college, he's worked with them. So we're going to have him on the show with some other surprises. So that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back at the same time, same place, 6:30 Sunday night. My man Reggie Booby Wins. My man Big Al, Michigan Exposure. Much love. Derek Denham. Peace. Hair grease. All that good stuff.
Peace, hair grease. All right.
Yeah. And I'm hungry, so yeah. Holla back.
Have a nice day.
Yes, sir.
Yep.